Gorgeous.
I feel like somebody taller than me was sitting here.
You can drop that.
I'm about to.
That one, yep.
Drop it like a microphone.
I thought you set it up.
Microphone.
No. The whole thing's dirty. For real, though. There we go. I'm special.
Gorgeous.
Thanks. My only good quality.
You're listening to the Podcast Detroit Network. Visit www.podcastdetroit.com for more information.
WWE's Elimination Chamber is over. NXT superstars decided to crash the party of Raw and SmackDown. Superstars are asking for the release. AEW openly mocked the Twitter trolls. We're going to get all that and more this week as we...
Are you ready? No! I said, are you ready? Right, yes, You just made the list! Oh, I knew he was going to do that. I just knew he was going to do that. He don't need Janetti. Damn! You don't know what hard times are, Daddy. Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass. It's the man with the rock in cooking. Bulletproof for life, good bout, and good night. They ain't got the answers. I change the questions.
Oh, it's true. It's damn true.
I forgot to unmute the microphones. Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to the most inappropriate pro wrestling show in the motherfucking world. You're listening to Breaking Down the Ring. We are your ring crew.
Nick. Smitty.
Smitzy.
That works. Go with that one today.
Supposed to turn out the light, remember?
And still, your BDR champion, the whole effing Joe.
And me, the almighty one, Mikey himself. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to fucking Kofi Mania, man. Fucking everything's coming up pancakes for that son of a bitch, isn't it, right now?
Yeah. And when they when they have
Yeah.
somebody on the New Day turn heel come Fastlane, it's gonna be epic.
You think that's what's going to happen?
Why
Is
not?
that what you're calling?
Why not? I mean, it'd be the perfect time to do it, and it'd give Kofi a reason to lose without looking like he just straight up lost.
And then does that make it a triple threat match for the New Day at Mania?
So there was a rumor, and I mean, clearly just a rumor, that it would be a fatal four-way, all three members of the New Day and Daniel Bryan.
Really?
Whoa.
That's a good rumor.
It's an interesting concept.
At Mania?
Yeah. Not just for Black History Month.
All right, whatever. I'm not sure how I would.
So is that why Kofi's getting his push?
Kofi wasn't supposed to get this push. Talks.
No, I know. It's because of Mustafa Ali's injury. I know.
No. The talks about this were Kofi was inserted just to be inserted because of Mustafa Ali. Correct. But the original plans for Fastlane was going to be a triple threat match. Daniel Bryan versus Samoa Joe versus AJ Styles. And the explosion of Kofi is what changed this.
Well, they put him in the fucking gauntlet match for an hour. What did they think was going to happen?
So here's my thought process.
I know.
on
Remember
that.
last time when Seth was in the like how
Right.
well received was that?
Yeah.
You know.
And I'm telling you right now, and I really hate to say this, but Kofi probably got that rub to go that long on the gauntlet match because it's Black History Month.
No.
I don't know. I wouldn't put it past the WWE to do
Come
some
on,
bullshit
man.
like that.
I would, just for the simple fact that I think what blows my mind isn't what happened in the gauntlet match. match. I'm like, oh, good. Like they made Kofi look strong. They should.
Yeah, I loved it.
But my thought process is, I thought that was a setup to have him an early exit in the chamber and say, no, he got over. We're not trying to make him look weak. He was going to be the first one out, And that whole chamber match was set up for Kofi to look even better. He pinned Daniel Bryan. He pinned AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, and then in the elimination,
AJ is the one that.
Eliminated Joe.
Oh, okay. So he pinned Bryan, Samoa Joe,
Orton.
Hardy.
No.
No.
Yeah, AJ. Yeah, because then
Who got Hardy?
Jeff Hardy.
It went Brian Hardy,
Joe.
No, it went
Joe.
Yeah,
and
'cause then Joe beat
and then
his ass.
AJ came out,
Beat
made
him.
him tap.
And then Orton comes
And
and
then
hits.
yeah.
The Joe was the first one eliminated before Hardy even made it in the
We're
match.
not talking about the elimination chamber. We're talking about the gauntlet match.
Yeah, we're
Oh,
talking about the
okay,
match.
okay.
But then
My bad.
And then it goes over to the elimination match where Kofi Kingston eliminated Randy Orton.
Yep.
And like that's 4 huge victories in the span of 5 days. And my God.
And then on the next SmackDown, he,
Yeah, I mean he
pins Daniel Bryan again.
And Daniel Bryan. So now if you're looking at it in the last 7 days, it's 2-1. He's pinned Bryan twice and Bryan's only pinned him once.
What if it led to what if this is all leading to a New Day triple threat at Mania?
And that's what my first thought was. Like, they've been talking about how much they've been trying to put over Kofi and stuff, and I'm like, you're right. You have been. That's what you've been doing. New Day consistently on Twitter, on social media, have always said, Kofi's the man. Kofi deserves this. He's been in here longer than anything, And then the fucking promo they cut before him going out for the tag match where they're like
The pancake tree?
Yeah, he's like, no, not that. He was like, he's been here for 11 years. You know how long that is? That's longer than Instagram has been around. I'm like, oh, it is.
A little too much dip on your chip.
Right, like he has been there, and that's fine. And Nick, how do you feel about what they did with Kofi and then putting him in the Fastlane match? Do you feel that he deserves it?
I do. He's been around long enough, but it just kind of sucks because they're not going to give him the title. They're just jacking everybody off and, getting them all into it, and then they're going to let everybody down, and they're going to bring him back up, and they're going to let everybody down.
No, let me ask you this. If Z's right, if it is a New Day interference, even accidental to where it sets up some sort of down the line breakup of this hot merch selling group, is that okay by you then? Because then it's not like he lost to lose. He lost because something accidentally happened.
Yeah, that'd be all right. I think that would be a good Mania match.
And you think it'll go to Mania, really?
Yeah. Yep.
Why they can't have the Shield triple threat, so fuck it. Let's do the New Day triple threat.
I wouldn't mind. Look, if it leads to a New Day triple threat, that's fine. But who are we gonna see then face? Who faces Daniel Bryan at Mania? Joe, what are you thinking?
I don't know, because I think they're slating AJ for Orton at Mania.
Yep.
Yeah.
So if it's not something with New Day and Daniel Bryan, maybe they could do something with Joe.
That's what I was thinking.
Joe go face?
He doesn't necessarily have to be like a face. He can just be.
He can just be Joe.
An ass kicker.
The in between.
Because Daniel Bryan's a heat seeker right now.
Mm-hmm.
So if Joe just doesn't cheat, and do chicken shit type stuff and goes against Daniel Bryan as his normal self, I think it'll work just fine.
He hasn't done any chicken shit type stuff at all recently. Like he's been fire promos where.
So if he's just continues down that road, I think it would be okay.
Okay.
For a program with Bryan, I'm not saying I don't know if they'll do that or not, but if it's not going to be New Day, if it's not going to be AJ, if it's not going to be someone returning, then I'd go with Joe. I did read some stuff. Everything as Conrad Thompson, who's becoming more annoying to me by the day, by the way. I don't know why. He just is.
I like him so much.
Really?
Yeah, I really do.
We'll talk about that in a little bit.
He's just, I don't know. He's annoying to me for some reason. Anyway,
But you're reading.
As he would say, rumor and innuendo. I was reading that some possible opponents for Bryan at Mania could be someone returning, like maybe even a Batista, possibly John Cena. Maybe they'll do something with the Bella storyline.
I'll be honest, man.
Because they were talking about Batista coming back to fight Tripp, but Tripp got injured over in Iraq or whatever, Saudi Arabia, whatever it was, you know? So I don't think Tripp would be cleared for Mania.
Yeah, he got that shoulder tear. Batista.
Like I
I've
said,
already
that's just
seen
that's
that,
just
though.
speculation.
I mean, it was a triple threat, nonetheless.
But it also ties up the whole year. It brings closure to that feud that happened at Mania. Because Batista was the one that was screwed over by the fans because it wasn't Daniel Bryan. And you could totally see Batista come back. Like, look, I came back for these fans. I love them. You know, I have this huge movie career, and you're shitting all over them, and all they did was have your back. Oh, that's writing. That would be a decent way to put him in there. But again, Fastlane is in 2 weeks, and Mania is 3 weeks after that.
KO's talking about returning in a few weeks. His name is on that list too. A returning KO.
I don't understand his promos.
Me either. I don't know where they're going with that.
Someone asks, what about the Rock rumors? Rumors of The Rock.
Against Daniel Bryan?
Coming back, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, why? I don't know. At least there's history with Batista. They could do something based on their previous history together. Like, what Rock would.
The Rock
What-
and Daniel Bryan wouldn't even be.
What's
that
the
good of a
story
ma-
there?
Yeah,
I
it
wouldn't-
wouldn't be a good match either.
What's the story there? There's a story with Batista.
Yeah, story with Batista. I don't think Rock coming back would be good. So, and someone just said, well, what about The Rock coming back in general? No, not right now. No, thank you.
What about for the Saudi deal?
Oh, $20 more million, have Rock come here as a champ. That's changing storylines again. I don't want that. That's
I'm not. I understand you don't want that.
Rock has not impressed me the past few times he's made appearances in WWE anyway.
he's been himself, which is fine, but that's what The Rock was, himself. Rock doesn't need another title run. Rock doesn't need any of this stuff. And if he's going to be another part-time champion, then you got a part-time WWE champion and a part-time Universal champion. Unless Seth takes it, and then all of a sudden, all what you're doing is flip-flopping which championship is
Well, yeah, Fox
marginal.
Fox is supposed to get SmackDown. They would love to have Rock as their champion, obviously.
Did you guys hear the rumor about FS1 possibly giving NXT a contract?
No, but I could see it.
Yeah, I heard about that. That was a while ago. So for Daniel Bryan, so if it's not Kofi Kingston getting to go up against Z, what would you like to see if it wasn't a New Day 4-way or?
What I would really like to see, and it's never going to happen, is Daniel Bryan and Ricochet.
I wouldn't say never, but probably not right
this
now.
WrestleMania.
Yeah, no, I mean, but that's what I would like to see at WrestleMania. That is what I would like to see. There's no story there, and I mean, I'm clearly fantasy booking here.
But
That could happen by next year's
now
Mania.
give me
Right,
give me
but-
something that could happen this year's Mania that you'd like to see. That would make you go, oh, I want to watch this match. Because currently, I can't think of anything.
Bring back a very gimmicky Butcher. I don't. I really don't know.
Kill all the cows!
The Necro Butcher.
There you go.
Hey, they were both in ROH. Why not?
Yep, that'd be perfect. I don't know. It's probably going to be Joe. Is what I'm thinking. I mean, going with what we're looking at now, minus like returns and shit. It's probably going to be Joe.
There's history with Joe, and if you're talking returns, there's history with Cena and Batista.
Yeah, but I don't want to see Daniel Bryan versus John Cena ever. That could just never happen, and I'll be happy.
Didn't it already happen?
Oh yeah, at SummerSlam.
Yeah,
When
Brian beat him.
Brian
right?
won the belt.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's already been done. Let's not do that again.
All right, before we go any further in this show, let us stop for Joe and Z. It is their birthday week. We are wishing them the happiest of birthdays with many more to come by doing drinks
I'm gonna do the alcohol.
We're doing the
Gonna
alcohol.
Doing
the
alcohol,
alcohol.
as the young
Yeah.
bucks say.
Yeah, we're gonna do the
We're
alcohol.
gonna do alcohol.
Because BDR is not drug free.
I don't know. This is new to me. I don't normally do alcohol.
I was gonna say this is my first sip ever.
Right.
Yeah.
It's my 21st birthday, guys.
Right. Yeah. Totally. So Joe, happy birthday. Z, happy upcoming birthday. This is the birthday week for both of you here on BDR. Obviously, you've been here since the beginning. We fucking love you. So cheers to you, boys.
Happy birthday, fellas.
Oh shucks.
And I'm also not chugging this whole fucking thing.
Fag.
Yet I'm saving these for some more.
He means he wants a cigarette.
This is an yes. Let's
wants-
go. We're gonna go to.
He wants to go smoke a fag.
We're gonna go and enjoy the Brexit up close and personal. Elimination Chamber was kind of a big fucking deal, man. Much better than a lot of people were speculating, especially for the chamber matches. The brand new, first time ever WWE Women's Tag Team Champions are Sasha Banks and Bayley. They went the distance with Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. The first two teams in were the last two teams in. Daniel Bryan retained his WWE Championship by going the distance in the Elimination Chamber for
He's
the
the
men.
first time ever, hemp belt planets champion.
That's what he does. He's our
He's,
eco-friendly
he's the
champion.
first whatever. What did you just say?
First ever planets champion with a hemp belt.
All the hemp.
Because if we're doing the first ever thing here, if you want to go down that road.
Yeah. Fucking the Usos are the first ever team to beat Shane McMahon and The Miz for the SmackDown Tag Team titles.
First ever team to
Get
come
arrested.
fresh off of almost getting shot by a Detroit cop to
No,
win
it was
win
a
title.
it was a taser. It was a taser. It wasn't an actual gun.
No, but
He's
I mean,
shocked.
with what he was doing though, he could have very well been easily
yeah.
been shot, especially in Detroit.
Right. Which every time an Uso goes to jail, an Uso gets a title run.
Right.
This is the second time that's actually
Every time an Uso goes to jail, the team itself gets its wings.
if that rule
Gets its
applied
bling.
for Jeff,
Right, gets its the team itself gets its bling,
if that
and not just in Jay's teeth.
if that rule applied for Jeff Hardy, he'd have more championships than Cena.
Right? He has so many title runs.
I mean, they did give him a title
U- US
shortly
ti-
after his DUI.
Yeah, right after he
US
drove onto a
title.
I mean,
farm.
That's Vince says he's not going to hire anyone in XFL with like a DUI or a previous conviction, but WWE, goddamn, you get rewarded for that shit.
If you're fucking
Oh, you got a DUI? Let's give you a belt.
Also, Finn Balor had won his first ever
Wait a minute.
Intercontinental
Where's my
Championship.
belt?
Finn Balor won his first ever Intercontinental Championship by pinning Leo Rush.
Taken off you by a drunk driver. Here's to you. Sorry. Go ahead.
And Baron Corbin beat Braun Strowman in a no DQ match. Raw Women's Champion fucking squashed Ruby Riott at the Elimination Chamber, only to get her ass whipped and Charlotte's ass whipped by the man Becky Lynch coming in with the fucking crutch. And the kickoff show was Buddy Murphy retaining his title against Akira Tozawa in another amazing cruiserweight match. So our scores, we're taking on the Pro Wrestling Scorecards crew for the Mania Takeover. This is the first round, and it is Joe in the lead, me second, Smitty, Z, and then Joe.
You said Joe twice.
I'm sorry, then Nick. Sorry.
How did you do worse than me? I picked Carmella and Naomi to win the fucking match.
I got to tell you guys something. I told this to Mikey before the show started. Not only did you guys beat me, okay,
Your wife beat you. Tell me she beat you.
my mother-in-law beat me by a,
You know,
a sizable margin.
I could come in with one of those stories one day because I'm pretty sure Kathy would fill one out too.
My wife did beat me. I beat my 6-year-old though.
My
On the scorecard. On the scorecard.
I was really hoping it was the other way around. I love beating children. It's my favorite things. That's why I had a kid.
I can't wait to whip your ass.
That's right.
So Joe is in the lead with 100 points. I have 94. Smitty has 92. Z has 88. And Nick is in 5th place with 72.
Woo.
Why do they want to face us again?
Nick, you did beat one of the people on Pro Wrestling Scorecards.
I did beat Dez.
Yep.
I beat Dez.
Their number 1 is Daniel with 95. Mario has 91. Jesse, the perpetual loser, is 3rd with 90. Ramon has 80. And Dez has 69. Hey. What's up, Daniel? So it's if it were right now, Joe would be taking on Daniel. I would be taking on Mario. Smitty would be taking on Jesse. Z would be taking on Ramon. Maroon. You moron. And then Nick would be taking on Dez. And as it stands, all of us would be beating them by that score anyway. So that's good.
So why do you guys even want to play?
Well,
This isn't fun anymore. You keep beating them.
it is totally fun because
I know.
I was hoping they wanted to go at it again because I'm the fucking one that keeps losing for us.
As long as the team wins, it doesn't matter what you do, all right?
It's
As,
like
as a
There's
team,
no I in team.
I'll say, you may suck, but as a team, we're undefeated.
it's like the Survivor Series match where Finn Balor went out and then everyone else won because Braun just ran through them all. And I'm just like Finn Balor in the back going, can't wait for my Intercontinental title in a couple months. By the way,
See,
I'm going to
good things
tap out to
happen.
Brock Lesnar. So let's get back into this Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. Sasha and Bayley winning, then announcing on Raw that they will be defending these women's tag team championships across all shows, including NXT. And spoiler alert for anyone that's listening, cover your ears in 3, 2, 1. They showed up in NXT on the tapings tonight. I don't know what they said, but they were there in NXT. Yeah. So how do we feel about that, Z, starting that off? Even though you picked Imone and Mella.
Oh, so we're starting out with the tag match.
Yeah.
I thought it was really good. I liked what they did. I wish I would have picked better, but made better picks. Although I did nail the entry.
Yeah, you got the entry
I
fucking down.
nailed it, but then from there it was just a shit show. But no, it was a really good match. I'm glad they did it. I'm glad they didn't try to do like back-to-back chamber matches or closer together. I'm glad they did one at the very beginning and one at the end. I think they did a great job in that match. I mean, what did I give that match? Like an 8?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, it was a really good match. I liked it.
Joe, how did you feel about it?
I just now sent in my rankings because I forgot to earlier. I ranked it a 7, so probably a little bit under you guys. I thought it was a good match. I just kind of, this whole pay-per-view is kind of like the dirt was like more of the story than any of the kayfabe storylines that were supposed to. You know, you're watching this thing, you know, thinking about you know, Carmella and Graves, you know, and like, so I'm like, is Graves gonna call this thing? Yeah, so he's out there, and then
You
of course,
barely heard him during the match.
of course, like,
He buried Carmella right off the bat.
yeah, he did too. I know. I was like, man, he is really taking some shots at Carmella right now. Like he's,
I want to say before we go any further with those dirt sheep,
I know where you're going.
did you hear about what? So what this is
Graves ain't really.
he never
an
cheated on
asshole.
his wife.
Yeah.
You know, they've been in a divorce process for 6 months. For the last 2 months, he's been living on his own. He started a relationship with Carmella in that 2 months of being on his own. He told her, she found out. His ex-wife, soon-to-be ex-wife, lashed out, going off on social media. Which, look, man, I get it.
So Carmella didn't make a grave mistake.
No, she did not. She did not wreck a home. You've made a grave mistake, Carmella. No, no. So Carmella's not a home wrecker. We made jokes and everything on our Twitter account. I made jokes on our Twitter account. But yes, but I agree. At the time, it was real fucking awkward to watch and listen to him.
Not awkward. I thought it was like
funny. Yeah, funny. He's like, my daughters are watching history being made.
Yeah.
And I'm like, your daughters totally just watched a home wrecker get wrecked first and sent home.
I know when he said that, I was like, I can't believe he just said that. Like, like, I'm not so sure if they're watching right now, Corey. They might not be.
They might agree.
Depends. Where
But
are they?
yeah,
Are
like,
they
I
with
would-
mom right now? They're not watching.
They're,
She is. They're not.
I can't remember like any like moments like oh shit or oh my god like super standout moments from that match. But I mean, it was definitely a solid match, which is why I ranked it a 7.
Nice.
That's what I ranked it.
Nick, what about you?
7. Solid 7.
I thought there was at least one good oh shit moment when Nia went through that pod. That was fucking great. She just like an asshole plowed right through it and fucking died.
Yeah, she did.
But it was a good match.
I did love the announcers go, oh my God, Bailey sidestepped. And I'm like,
Yeah.
Bailey was
didn't
never
even-
in the fucking pad.
Right? Nia just took
She just went for
a
it.
header through the fucking.
Like, watch this.
And it wasn't the guys' match that got thrown into the pod and it didn't break. And I'm like, well, he doesn't weigh nearly as much as Nia Jax. That's why.
What was it, Kofi?
I
it was
think,
Kofi.
yeah. I was like, well, he's half the size of Nia. He's not breaking that fucking thing.
It's reinforced.
Yeah, they fixed that thing real quick.
It's like, you got to be the size of Nia Jax to go through that motherfucker.
Joe, maybe.
Right. But he was the first one. Well, we'll get to
Continue,
that.
Nick, sorry.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, it was a good match, so I enjoyed it. I would have liked to have seen a few more, maybe extreme moves from the chicks coming out of there, but it was good. Good, I liked it. Yeah, I scored it an 8 too.
You did. I scored it a 7 along with Joe. I agree that it was a good match, but my thought process was I thought a true 8 came from the boys, and that Akira Tozawa Buddy Murphy match was spectacular as well. Again, nothing much more to say on this. I guess now it's, did the right team win in your eyes, Z?
Now that they're going SmackDown, NXT, I agree.
Any team could have done that, though.
Yeah, but it's in the long run. Whoever let's say a team from NXT takes it off of Sasha and Bailey, I think it means more than say taking it off of Sonya and Mandy.
What tag teams are there even in freaking NXT?
There's not. They kind of just threw. They had Sonya and Mandy and Sasha and Bailey, who they've been kind of pushing that way for a minute. But then they just kind of threw some together, like Carmelo and Naomi. It makes sense what they're trying to do, but I mean, do they have enough women to have an entire tag division?
Only,
Or are they just gonna
only
keep,
way
like,
they
throwing
do.
people together?
Only way they do is by doing exactly what they're doing right now,
Going across
and
all
that's
brands?
taking the belts to all brands, which is what I said they should have been doing with the men's titles. I've been saying that for years. You know, I think I've always said that with, like I said that like a NWA days, a traveling champion. I think it makes the titles mean more. I think it makes the champions mean more.
Yeah,
Anyway,
treat your separate shows like the territories.
Right.
The champion comes into your territory.
yeah, dude, and that's a big freaking deal.
Makes sense.
I mean, it's not.
I
no
mean,
s-
or at least like create a TV title.
it's not
that
like everyone
goes, like,
doesn't know all three
across all
brands are
shows.
WWE. They all know it's WWE anyway, so why not? You
Well,
know,
what if you brought back the television title that's only defended on TV, but it goes
I would say
over
cool
all
to that,
shows,
but
though.
they already have like over 20-some
Yeah, I know.
titles throughout the company. So
Yeah, but
right now,
just-
I'd say no.
Just take like the U.S. title and do that with the U.S. title. Now the U.S. title can go because I mean you have a U.K. title, so now just take the U.S. title. You don't got to change the name or make a new title. You just now it can be defended on any brand you want,
I
including.
think that would
NXT.
kind of get lost in translation at some point. Like,
I think it would help.
I think people
All right,
would.
well, let's get back to the subject of the women's tag. Is this so? Z, you're okay with who they had win?
Yes, and I think so. Sasha and Bailey probably they have a really good following with like young girls, and having them travel to all three brands is going to draw eyes to more to NXT than anything else, but draw eyes elsewhere.
Hell yeah, Bailey girl in NXT, she'll be pumped. She gets to see
Yeah.
Bailey again, man.
Izzy.
Yeah, her.
Yeah, so
What did you think, Nick, about the winners?
I think it was a little cliche, but the right thing to do. To Z's point, I think he hit the nail right on the head. I mean, you're going to have them going through all these different, brands, and they're going to be good ambassadors for the titles as a whole. Yeah, it's a good idea for now.
Joe?
Yeah, I would. I I picked them to win on the score sheet.
You
which,
did.
You know,
The
why
shrug connection.
that's why part of the reason why I'm still the champion around here. Someone's got to be. No, I would either pick them, like, not just for the score sheet, but if I was booking this thing, to me it would either have been them or the Iconics, just because I see the Iconics as an actual, like, real team. Not saying that the others aren't, like, real team. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
they're an actual, like,
Put together team, a
duo,
tag team.
and they travel together. They're like real friends. But that being said, if I was booking this thing and it was down to them two teams, I probably still would have picked Bailey and Sasha just because of their tenure, their history, their credibility. Bailey deserves a title. Sasha's already been a women's champion, so you could say that this.
So is Bailey.
But Bailey deserved a first. Like Sasha and everybody else got all these firsts, and Bailey didn't get any of them.
Multiple runs with Sasha.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you could say that, like, with all Sasha's accomplished by now in her career, this may be a little beneath her, but being the fact that she's the first one to hold these titles, or whatever, you know, like you said earlier.
Jesus Christ.
But
Does that make them the first Grand Slam champions?
Yep. They have held all the titles in the women's division.
so yeah. I think
No. If Charlotte or Becky won, or I'm sorry, if Charlotte
But-
or Bliss won,
But the people online do not count. They count the Universal
the
title.
major
and-
title.
yeah, they
you're
own
right.
one.
Yeah. Okay.
One major title, two secondary tag team. But
yeah,
we
I
only have.
I think if you're like a Raw Women's Champ or you're a SmackDown Women's Champ, you're the champ. You've been the champ.
Yeah, it gives them the triple crown: NXT Women's Champ, WWE Women's Champ, and fucking.
It's just like Daniel Bryan and before that AJ, they're the champ.
Yeah.
Just like Brock, they're the champ. That's the
Yeah,
belt. The
I
belt.
agree.
So, you like I said, you could say it's a little bit beneath her with as many times as she's held the title, but being that this is the first woman to ever hold the women's tag titles, you know, revisionist history wise, maybe it's not beneath her in this case. Like if she would have, like if say the Iconics won it, and then like her and Bailey won it somewhere down the road, and they were the second or third or fourth team to win it, then yeah, by that point, but like, who cares?
Right.
But since her and Bailey are the first ones to do it, then yeah, it's historical. It's a big thing. So yeah, I would probably pick them too because they're the most tenured pair. They're the most tenured two wrestlers in that match. They've been teaming and feuding on and off for years. They've got a history with the company and a history with each other. So yeah.
I'm also in agreement. When I agree with Z. The minute they announced they were going to NXT on Raw is when I was like, okay, now it makes a total bunch of sense is brought to this. I would have thought if the reason I picked Mandy and Sonya is because I thought they're going between Raw and SmackDown. Going to all three brands, possibly even NXT UK.
Yeah, so now
know.
you're drawing eyes elsewhere.
Yeah, so I think it's a very, very good choice.
Did they mention NXT UK?
No, but you
No,
never know. They say NXT.
It
NXT
could
is
happen.
NXT UK. It's everything.
Could you imagine them two against like Rhea Ripley and Tony Storm?
Would love to watch them drop
if
the
Tony
belt to
Storm
those
and
two.
Rhea Ripley end up teaming up somehow, you know?
Sarah Logan and Liv Morgan actually looked decent
Strong.
in that match.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they. I mean, I like the way Liv Morgan looks. I don't think there's too many people in this room that don't. But as far as a wrestler, I always thought she was kind of garbage in the ring, to be completely honest.
Sure.
And after watching Elimination Chamber, like I feel like she's gotten a lot better.
Yeah, the last few weeks she's looked a lot better.
Well, they cut that promo and they're like, "You're gonna see a side of the Riot Squad you've never seen before," and you did. Like you believe them as a tag team now, not just not just Sarah Logan and her little puppet.
You know, I guess I neglected to mention them earlier because they are true.
That's what made me think of it when you talked
They
about
are
the
a true
teams. I was
team.
like, wait a minute, the Riot
Also,
Squad.
the Riot
and then-
Squad, they are those girls are like tight with each other. You know, that's not like
Yeah.
a gimmick. Like all three of those girls, they're like besties, or you know, as boys we'd say they're boys. You know, they're girls. You know what I mean?
Yep,
Yeah, they are girls.
they are.
You know
girls,
what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you meant. Next, let's move on. So the men's elimination chamber match. We kind of talked a little bit about that. Anything that was a little annoying to you, Nick, for the whole match, or did it all play out pretty well for you, or do you have high praise for it?
I don't think anything was really annoying. I think it was some of the guys, their time in the chamber was a little short for me.
Hardy was short.
Yeah.
I called that last week.
I'm with you on that one because all of a sudden it seemed like it was just like boom, boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom. Like, oh shit, we're running out of time. Go,
Yeah.
go, go.
Yeah. So I think in that aspect, that's the one thing that I would have changed about it. But other than that, whoever, anybody that pinned the other guy, I don't think there was anything that was really annoying or like, God, I can't fucking believe that. I'm not going to lie, and I guess maybe this is me just being a casual fan, but there was a second that I thought maybe they're really going to let Kofi. And that's the great thing. That's what I
That is
loved
you being a
about it.
casual fan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been,
No,
watching,
yeah,
I've been
for
watching
sure.
wrestling for 31, almost 32 years now. And I even thought for a second, I was like, are they going to?
Yeah.
I thought like, but my thought process was, oh, Daniel's going to let him get over, and then like just.
When I knew he, I knew he
One of
wouldn't
it might have
win.
been.
Hold on.
Sorry, go ahead.
I knew he wasn't going to win, and I picked Daniel Bryan to win, because I've been watching wrestling for a long time, not in that same aspect you guys have, but, when it's a match like that, like we've talked about before, they're not going to give Daniel Bryan a belt like that and take it away from him so quick. But, man, I did
thought that at first, and I was actually the one that said that, but now I'm thinking about it, and it gives them more reason to want to win it back.
You can't say you can't
Also-
say though with WWE they're not going to do this or that because that would be illogical.
Also,
Because WWE defies logic all the
It's
time.
true.
the other thing that made me change my mind was, well, they let Brian do what he wanted to do to the belt. Could you imagine what the New Day would do to the WWE?
Turn it
title?
into a pancake.
It would be the belt they sell online,
Yeah.
or similar.
But it did for just,
Come on,
just for a second.
It used to be a fucking
Which-
spinner.
but it's moments like that, which is why I watch wrestling. Like,
Yes.
when they get me, when they get me by the hook and they reel me in, it's like, God
Yep.
damn it. But
I wasn't disappointed when Daniel finally won because I knew it was inevitable. But I just was like, come on, maybe there's just a shred of hope that they'll fucking do something crazy. No, they didn't. Oh well,
Someone, it might have even been that the one group that we're on.
behind the curtain.
Yeah, someone in that group made a post like something like talking shit like. And they didn't even give it to Kofi or whatever. I'm like, well,
that.
duh.
Yeah, right.
You actually thought they were
Yeah.
like, yeah, they'll let them look at it, sniff it, touch it maybe, like.
But that's part of the story
He's not
too.
taking it home.
That's part of the story too. His failure and people getting behind him, and his boys coming out. Oh man, he did a good job. Blah blah blah. And it's all part of the
To the point where they're
feel-good
giving him a
story.
title match
Yeah,
again at
yeah.
Fastlane.
It's actually refreshing to see them roll with something organically for once with Kofi.
It kind of makes me believe that they're trying to do what they said they were going to do,
Change.
in a sense.
I can't even argue that. Now, there's been a lot of people, someone even just posted a comment saying that WWE is way too predictable. And my thought process on that is, I can't say they're way too predictable. I can say in certain aspects, yes, there's a predictability to this, but if WWE was way too predictable, we would nail every fucking scorecard.
Yeah.
100%. Everybody would. These scorecards wouldn't even be fun. You don't nail them 100%.
I win all the time. Just kidding.
You know what I'm saying?
No, you're right. You're right.
But that's just what it is.
A lot of those points, though, are lost on the extras, though.
I agree with you.
If we're just picking
Yeah, but
winners
it-
here,
but
a
to
lot of us
Mikey's-
would do pretty well.
Yeah.
But to Mikey's point, if it's as predictable as people think it is, you should be able to predict all those extras.
Yeah, and then let's get to the point of the winners.
Fair enough. Some of the extras,
Every
not
one
all.
of us picked Buddy Murphy to win, right? Buddy Murphy won. Every one of us picked the best tag team in the world to win. They lost.
I only did that because Jay got arrested.
Yeah,
that pick
Or
was
Jimmy.
in. That pick was. It was
but there's other political things involved with that, too.
right. So then we all picked Ronda Rousey to win. She won. Everyone except me picked Braun Strowman to win. Corbin won. Right. Then we all picked Daniel Bryan to
We're
win.
all dumb for that, though, too, because we all like a lot of
I
us
didn't
pick-
think the Drew McIntyre Lashley thing was coming back.
Right.
That was like,
See-
I was like, oh, you're not done with this, and then
Okay.
on Raw, you're like, oh, you are done.
Hold
with
on.
this.
No,
Let
we're not
me-
going to talk about that. We're not going to talk about. We'll get into the when we talk about
Let
the
me
match.
use myself for an example on why we're dumb.
No. Let me talk about the predictability. Then we'll go into the match.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm just talking
then-
about the picks.
And then everyone. So for the picks of who was winning the elimination chambers, we all picked Bryan. Yeah, he won. Then it was Mandy Rose and Deville, Carmella and Naomi, Banks and Bailey, Mandy Rose and Deville, Banks and Bailey. It's not way too predictable. They throw curveballs enough to the point where it does keep you on your toes as a fan. You know what I'm saying? You can always find the negativity in WWE, and God, when it's easy to find, we're gonna pick it apart here.
But you also have to remember, and I'm sorry to interrupt you, but you have to remember that the reason we get some of these picks wrong is because we try to guess when that curveball's coming. Like, I picked Naomi and Carmella, for example. Like, I should have just picked the safe bet in Sasha and Bailey, but I was like, oh, if they're going to do something different, it's going to be this match. You know, so I'm like calling the curveball.
See, I thought
I was wrong. I struck out.
okay, but then that becomes a different opinion because I thought Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville was the safe bet because of what Vince McMahon would do for a blonde with big boobs and big ass.
Right, but that's my point. But that's where you thought the curveball was coming.
Right.
This is why we get stuff wrong. That's why we don't predict.
But
it
again,
100%
but no, I would have thought that was the safe bet, not the curveball. I thought the safe bet is Vince McMahon wants to push the hot chick. That's what Vince McMahon does.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Either one of those teams could have been.
and
a
this
safe
is
bet.
where we
Right.
fall back into wrestling subjective.
Right. Yeah. But again, and that's what I'm saying is it's not way too predictable. There are certain aspects that are predictable, but it's supposed to be. You know, you don't. I have
Randy
never.
being last and RKOing AJ out of nowhere, just standing in the ring, not knowing what's coming. Like, all right.
Go with your point, Joe.
Predictable's not always bad if it's logical.
Oh,
Right.
Spoken like Orlando.
But true.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
That was one of the.
Anything's good. I don't give a shit if I can figure out the ending as long as the story leading
If
up
it-
is spectacular.
If it makes sense.
Yep.
I mean, yeah. I mean, how often do we watch like prequels or whatever where we know where the story's gonna end up?
Right.
It's the ride you're on.
Yep.
You know, it's
Yep.
that's what you're there for. You know, it's the ride there.
Yeah.
It's not always the payoffs because a lot of times you do know the payoff, but you want to see how it gets there.
Exactly.
So there's a lot more than just the finish.
No. Couldn't have said that better myself. Ronda Rousey, in less than 2 minutes, destroyed Ruby Riott. Only for then Ruby Riott to get a 3-segment match with Rousey on Raw the next night.
It's like they felt sorry for or like the consolation prize
Do you-
thing again.
do you-
Maybe.
Well, but do you think there was a conversation in the back, like, hey, where
Like that was dumb. We fucked up. Let's do this over.
Well, not only that, but I don't know how long they planned for the pay per view to go. It was over by like 10:30, right?
Yeah.
Earlier than that, yeah.
All right. So
I remember thinking it was about to be done by 10.
I was too, but then I was like, it's a chamber match. They could totally pull an hour out of this.
Right.
So I was like, all right, that kind of makes sense. Maybe they were in fear of time, so they're like, all right, listen, Ronda's gonna go over in 2 minutes, but we'll give you the rub on Raw.
You think it was a timing issue? That's why
No,
she
I just think it's them being dumb, but I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt. Does that make sense?
Okay, Joe.
What? I mean, like, it was what? I mean, it was a 2-minute match.
How were
He
your
went and
feelings
took
about
a
that
piss
when you
and
watched
it was over.
And I'm just talking about the match, not the close, not the stuff that ended the match.
Okay, I'm glad you
I'm
clarified
literally
that.
just talking the match. Did you feel it? Does it destroy Ruby? Did what they did on Raw help build her back up?
Neither.
Neither. In
Neither.
your eyes, at all.
I don't know. I knew there was no doubt in my mind. Ronda going in that match, Ruby was just fodder for her.
Man, that's our.
There's that word again.
Well, hey,
it's true though.
predictable isn't bad if it's logical.
Take a drink every time someone says fodder. So drink, boys.
Oh, I'm gonna.
Yeah, you better get another
Well,
one.
being the fodder that Ruby
I
Riot
got it.
was,
You gotta
I'm
drink
gonna,
again.
I'm gonna get you all fucked up if that's how you're gonna do it. you just fucked yourselves up. No, I'm kidding. Okay, so never crossed my mind. Did anyone pick Ruby Riot to win this match? Anyone?
No, but at one point,
I thought it'd be a competitive match, though.
yeah, I thought that she was going to have a really good showing. And at one point, even throughout the week, my thought process did go to, man, imagine if they did do it. Like, that, not to the point where I ever thought that there was a 0.001% chance higher than that to win, but somewhere in the back of someone's head, I'm pretty sure one person went, so what do you think about maybe doing it? And then Vince was like, no.
What officially killed it for me was when the Riot Squad didn't win the tag belts. Because if they won the tag belts, then I'd be like, all right, they're gonna give it to Ruby. Why not?
It's a fortune cookie, everybody.
So you're just.
What's it say?
So you're like, you're like dissatisfied with the Riot Squad, like as a whole team taking a big zero.
No. I'm mad that they kind of squashed Ruby. I mean, granted, they have built Ronda to be, this champion and everything like that, so I don't think it hurts Ruby too much. But at the same time,
All right.
it doesn't help her
Here's
character at
my
all.
thoughts on it real quick. I believe on the scorecard, I picked Ronda to submit her, and she did. And I believe
You said no to the over 10 minutes?
Yeah, I don't believe I picked anything like a squash, like 2 or 3, but I believe I picked like 7 or 8 minutes or something.
No, it was, will the
picked-
match be
you
over
picked
10
eight-
minutes?
No, you picked. No,
I don't have
didn't
my
it
card
on
with,
there. I'm looking at it right now. 8 minutes.
Yeah, so I didn't think it was going to be like a real long affair to begin with. I did think it would be a little bit more competitive, obviously, based on the time that I picked. I thought Ruby would have a bit of a better showing. I thought the Riot Squad would get involved. They didn't. That was a bit surprising to me.
Everyone thought the Riot Squad was going to get involved.
So, and then, but the match on Raw.
Oh no, I didn't.
Oh, no, but at the same time, you also didn't know that the women's chamber match was going to be the first
The
match.
match on
and
I thought that
Raw
was gonna
the
close.
next night just seemed like another word that I kind of use a lot, kind of a consolation prize. I was like, we fucked up Ruby last night. Let's give her something tonight. We're not gonna let her win, but we're gonna let her look a little bit better tonight.
Right, Nick. What about you, brother?
It felt a little bit like a slap in the face to Ruby. It really did. I think that it was more so just kind of giving them a reason to do something with Charlotte and Becky, because they showed when Becky came out in Charlotte's match from the live show the night before, before that match. Well, who fucking cares? Because, well, I care now because now Becky's out there, Charlotte's out there. So it was just kind of like, it should have been a longer match. They shouldn't have had to do it on Raw. It felt like a...
Right, because the pay-per-view ended early.
Yep.
Ruby could have had a better showing. They could have still done everything they did with Becky and Charlotte and Ronda.
Yep.
While not squashing Ruby.
Right.
And that's when the match with the rematch the next night. I felt like it was like an apology almost, to Ruby, like, sorry about last night. We'll give you here's 5 more minutes tonight. You're gonna lose, but go get your shit in, girl.
I'm gonna tell you, that was a fucking good half hour of Raw. It was 3 segments that they gave Ruby, and her. I was really pissed off when that match ended. My thought process on it was, what the actual fucking fuck right now?
Yeah.
Ruby Riott deserved way better than a 1.4 second match. Whatever the fuck it was.
It was like 2 minutes.
Yeah, 1 minute.
Under
40
2
seconds.
minutes.
Yeah, it was under 2 minutes. But she deserved way better than that. Way better than that. There was no reason that Ruby Riott, who works as hard as she does, who is something different for that company, who is as good as a worker as she is, was served up to Ronda Rousey like that. Then what happened on Raw, I wasn't in the consolation prize mode. I was in the, okay, it feels better. I wish that she would have had
Better but forced.
I don't want to say forced. Because I want to say more deserved. Like, she deserved to have a good match.
But
with Ronda
deserved
Rousey.
after the fact, which is forced, kind of.
Not going to argue that. I'm not going to say forced. I will say deserved after the fact. It did seem kind of like
It's like you getting invited to a party, and then someone else throws a party, but you didn't invite them. So then you send out a last minute invite to them after you already had your party, just to save face almost. You know what I'm saying?
no. I know what you're saying, but no, I did not feel like it was like a consolation prize. It was anything forced. I felt like she deserved that kind of match, and and I don't think that I think the WWE, in my head, it was more of a shit. Oops.
Well, yeah, I agree with
but,
that.
Yeah, but not to the point where it's like, okay, we're gonna make it up. Not like I don't feel like when I think consolation prize, my thought process on consolation prize is, hey, we're gonna do this to you, but we're gonna give you this after. I don't think they planned to do that after. I think that they heard the outcry and how pissed people were, and then they were like, all right, now we have to make it up.
Or they just realized they fucked up. They're like, oh,
and
shit.
that's what I'm saying. I think that
we fucked Ruby
and that's why
over.
I don't want to say it was a consolation prize
I mean,
because
maybe
that's
I
what a
worded a
consolation
bit
prize-
wrong, but I think we're still on the same
Yeah,
page.
we're gonna say like, oops. All right, here we go.
All right, yeah. So
Yeah.
I think we're wording it a bit different. I think we're in agreement on that one, though.
Okay, yes, it was different way to word it. Blah blah blah. Now, obviously, there's no automatic rematches for losing your championships anymore.
Yeah, the
the
authority that's not the authority said that. The authority that's not the authority anymore came out and said that.
So after the Usos won, and then came out on SmackDown
We'll see, but it
and
was
goaded
the
them,
Usos.
and I will agree with this. It was the WWE was smart with that, right?
Yes, they were.
Because it was the Usos going
for once.
Yeah, they were like, look, they even said it. They're like, we know there's no automatic rematches, but come on again, dog. And then they buried Miz to the point
Yeah,
where
they did.
Shane was like, no, you're not gonna talk to my boy like that. We're gonna reset this matchup. Cleveland, Ohio, Fastlane. We should go to Fastlane, by the way, everybody.
Go to it?
Yeah, fuck it. Let's
It's in Cleveland. We'll stay with the Pharaohs. We're good.
Yeah, we got a fucking room board.
I wouldn't go to Fastlane if it was at LCA.
Why not?
Why?
Because me and WWE right now are not on the same page.
I don't know. What if
Another-
we go and watch Kofi win?
Yeah, what if that happens?
Would you be mad?
I'm a
you went
Daniel
there?
Bryan fan. Fuck Kofi.
So much.
You fucking hippies.
Fucking tree huggers.
Wrong type of tree.
He doesn't hug trees. He cuts them down and makes belts.
I'm the furthest thing from that. I drive big trucks and leave my carbon footprint and eat meat.
I eat 1 pound
A lot
steaks,
of meat.
steaks and wheats.
They are turning those
Oh,
guys
God.
into jokes, man.
Those guys
That made
have
me mad.
Ben jokes.
Dude.
That
Fuck off.
made
Oh, wait,
me
we'll get into that in
mad.
a little bit. So
Dozer
now
could be someone. Anyway, go on.
Usos win at did you so before the even with yeah, because I just got all fucked up. Sorry.
Mikey's drinking tonight. He doesn't usually drink on the show.
We literally, I was just in
you do the other
Dozovic
half of
mode.
that yet?
Yeah, I was gone.
Okay.
I was in Dozovic mode. So my head got all kinds of fucked up. So the Usos won on the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, and you only picked the best tag team to win, Z, because of the arrest in Detroit?
Is that what I said?
Yes.
Am I wrong? What's that?
I was gonna say that's not why I picked him, but you said you picked him because of that. Why did you just were set? They fucked themselves?
Because reading stupid wrestling articles as I do all week long.
You and me
It
both,
said-
brother.
Yeah, I was gonna all this shit pops up on my newsfeed. No, the Usos were supposed to win it, and then it was supposed to set up a match for them at Mania against, or actually, yeah, Fastlane, and then Miz turns on Shane at Fastlane, or vice versa, with however they're setting up that storyline, and then you have Shane and Miz. So I thought the Usos were gonna win it, but then I was like, no, he tried to fight a cop, at least Jimmy just hit some shit and was drunk or whatever, paid his ticket. But no, he tried to fight a cop. There's no way they're gonna win the title. No, I was wrong.
Okay, Joe, why did you pick the Shane and Miz to win?
Almost for the same reasons, all political. But then if I would have picked Usos to win, it would have also been for political reasons because it would have been probably for why they did win because there's a lot of fear of them leaving the company to go to AEW and that they're unhappy, just like Dean Ambrose and Ty Dillinger are. So, like,
Let me go ahead.
Listen, Di Tillinger is going to be great in AEW.
Sammy and Dandow.
Hey, don't get me started. I'll do a whole hour on why Sandow should be there.
So, I don't know.
I just know I love how everyone who has been, as according to the dirt sheets, everyone who has been wanting their release outside of Maria and Mike Kanellis
Now has
all
a
have
title.
Yeah, is that a coincidence though? Like,
But
don't leave. Here's a title.
I don't.
And
think-
here's money.
I don't. Think,
Here.
I don't think it's them leaving that got them wanting to leave that got them a title run. I think there was always a plan to get him a title run, and it feels more like
Okay, wait a minute here.
and it feels more like somebody went and said, "Yeah, so and so's thinking of leaving," so it gets all the thought process away from them winning to when they win. Everyone's like, "Oh shit!"
I
So
got
what? Ty's saying this so
No,
he gets a
Ty's
title
different.
run before he
Ty's
leaves?
different.
No,
Ty's
let
different.
me cite like the same exact situation. Let me cite an example. 2006, One Night Stand 2, RVD, John Cena.
2 nights.
It doesn't even make sense.
But it was.
But it was called One Night Stand.
No,
One
it
Night
was the
Stand
second One Night
different.
Stand. It was One Night Stand, but it was the second one. So I'm
Different
not-
girl, we get it.
I'm not wrong here. Rob Van Dam, John Cena. Rob Van Dam takes his title, the fucking stupid spinner belt, in the Hammerstein Ballroom. A couple of weeks later, not even, him and Sabu get pulled over, not too far from here, in Ohio, with, what, an ounce of weed,
These
half ounce of
idiots
weed?
are just fucking up in the Midwest.
Anyway, what do? They suspend him for 30 days, take the title off him.
Yeah.
So why would it not be logical to think that the Usos wouldn't win the belt after fucking
I'm not
going to jail and
I'm
shit?
not arguing
with
that.
you.
I'm not arguing that. I'm honestly not arguing that. I will say that's not why I picked them. I was planning. I thought Shane and Miz were going to win anyway, and then somewhere down the line, some sort of happens in the middle of a match, and then they lose on SmackDown or something like that. I'm not saying that you should not have picked for that. My thought process, I went to the whole. It doesn't seem. I don't think anyone's actually leaving. That is rumored to leave outside of the people that are actually going, that have announced it themselves. You know, and like even Ty said, he was like, "I'm in," and we're gonna get into that. Story
I could
very
see
soon.
the Usos being disgruntled somewhat though, because as
They're 5-time tag champs,
You know
and
what?
they
You know
have,
what?
but they have
they're dude for 9 years they were left off WrestleMania.
If it was
9 years.
if this
they've
was,
only been on the past 2
listen to me,
years.
If this was last year, right, and AEW starting up last year before they got their actual WrestleMania moment,
Then maybe-
I would totally agree with you. But I think the WWE gave
Usos
them
are made
dude,
men.
2018.
Like, they're not going
But-
anywhere.
Come on now, there is no, and there still is not.
Yeah, after
any-
9 years of wearing fucking face paint, they were like, "Fine, you can do
no,
your
I'm
own
talking
shit."
about there is no like level of importance put on the tag division for either brand right now. Even
Oh, no,
still,
but we've said this
they're
plenty
just-
of times. They need to build a
they
tag
put the
division.
belts on the Revival. I know that. That's just like
but I feel like they're in
small foot out the
they're
gate.
Hold on.
going in the right direction.
Hold on. Joe, how until Shane wore those titles a month ago, we never
2 weeks ago.
we never said that the SmackDown tag title division was bullshit. Never once.
I'm talking about just the WWE brand in general. I'm
But
not
that's-
differentiating.
I am
Raw
differentiating
through
because
SmackDown.
I agree that Raw was fucking horrible for a very long time, but SmackDown, dude,
Had-
some of the
they
best
made it-
matches. They were always
Between
high
three teams.
profile. Yeah. Now,
It's,
granted,
it's the
I
Bar,
agree.
the Usos, and the New Day. Who else?
I'm agreeing that it's between 3 teams, but those 3 teams still went out there and were show stealing matches to the point where you couldn't even say, why isn't this other team in there? Because it wasn't until those other teams showed up on SmackDown, i.e. the Good Brothers, when they're coming out like, yeah, where are they? And where's Sanity? What the fuck? But when we're watching those matches, we're not thinking about those other teams. We're going, holy fuck, this match is top fucking notch. Usos and New Day stole the show. Best match of the
205
show.
puts on top notches all the time, but nobody gives a fuck about them. That's what the WWE Tag Team Division's about.
I'm not, but the difference is the WWE.
Yeah, where are the
Smack-
Good Brothers? Where the fuck is Sanity? They're on SmackDown.
Eric Young had a match this week.
Yeah,
I-
to get squashed by an NXT guy. Not squashed, but beaten. To put him over.
Yeah, but at least
Yeah,
Eric
but
Young was
what?
on fucking TV. When was the last time you saw Eric Young on TV? He
About
looks a
2
little
months
chubby,
ago.
by the way, because he hasn't been on fucking TV. So he was on TV. So that's better than not
Yeah,
being on TV.
He was on TV.
It's better than not being on
To
TV.
do the JOB.
They were on TV. They had new gear.
If I wasn't on TV for 3 months, I'd have new gear too. Just like Zack Ryder does
right.
every 4 months. He's on fucking
But
TV.
did you notice that all the NXT guys kind of went over on old NXT guys?
Doesn't matter. All the NXT guys went over on all the main roster guys on both shows. What's that say?
Is that a problem?
That NXT is better. And
Wait. Okay, is that a problem for you?
No, I think that means that I think it means they're scrambling and they don't know what the fuck to do. They're
no,
like,
it means
No. Is it a problem for you that the NXT guys won?
no, but
Okay.
I think it
so
shows.
No, so no is your answer. Hold on. So
no, I want to know, but
there's no but. I mean, if there's no problem there
but.
because I don't. There's no but to give to that. Now,
bullshit. You're looking at things in black and white. There's
I'm
always
not
shades
looking
of
at.
gray.
I am not looking at things in black and white. I'm looking at this as you saying you have no problem that the NXT guys won, right? But you do have a problem over who they went over.
No, I just have a problem in why they went over.
Okay, explain.
Because they've been doing these vignettes for weeks for all these other NXT guys that weren't these guys. And these guys, I don't even think Triple H knew these guys were being brought up. I think this is a Vince thing. I think this is all done because, the ratings are bad. Our talent is stale. Who's the top guys in NXT? Who was on Halftime Heat?
Yeah, I was gonna say he might be right here. Like,
Get
I
those
see where
guys.
he's going with this. And
Get those guys up here, and we're gonna make them fucking beat all our fucking boring guys. Ha ha! I'm Vince McMahon. Ha!
He's
pretty good.
He's
Tell me I'm wrong.
He's on to something.
Tell me I'm wrong.
I won't tell you you're completely wrong.
Give me a beer.
Okay.
The more I drink, the more wrong I'll be.
I want a beer
No.
too.
I'm not saying that you are wrong. Ready?
No.
What? You've been having vignettes for
No,
EC3
and honestly,
Who has a win on
think-
Raw?
I think that's why they put them on Raw, because they were on Halftime Heat.
they
So,
were also
again, to
they were
draw
all
eyes
on
to
Raw and all on SmackDown. All of them.
Yeah, I did not like that part of it. Like,
Why?
I just
They all won on Raw and they all won on
because
SmackDown
here's
too.
the thing. You're trying to build it as two separate brands, but now all these guys that come up from NXT are on both shows.
Okay,
Like we're getting into like super show territory
No, you're not.
here.
No, you're not.
Fuck, we ain't.
No, you're not.
okay, wait a minute. We're on the road to WrestleMania here.
Uh-huh.
There's not much time left for WrestleMania. As far as we know, these guys are not plugged into WrestleMania yet.
Andre the Giant Battle Royal.
Okay,
Boom, plugged him into WrestleMania.
You're taking extremely valuable TV time away from furthering your storylines along to the road to
They
WrestleMania.
haven't even put Seth in a match in 2 weeks.
Apparently he's
Furthering
injured.
my point here.
Seth's injured.
Yeah.
What is injured on
not-
Seth?
I don't know what it is, but
His back.
Yeah.
He's
wasn't
not
cleared.
injured. He's just not like doing like live
100%.
events.
No, Seth is injured. Seth's back is fucked up that required enough rest. He was supposed to be on all kinds of Raw this week,
Was he got like
but
a-
he wasn't cleared
A
yet.
compact disc
Like,
or
yeah,
something
some
like
sort
that?
of his some
Like
between those.
chiropractor.
compact
two-
disc.
CD?
I used to have one of those.
Yeah,
Back in the day.
the no skip was always turned on.
Still skip though.
That's a bullshit. Yes, but that's what Seth's been injured.
But you're furthering my point with that. Like they've through a monkey wrench, they've halted everything into all their
No, Joe.
storylines
They're
moving.
giving you what you want. and I don't mean you, but I mean like they're giving the internet community exactly what they
No,
want.
they're not.
Yes, they are.
They're giving the internet community what they think the internet community
Why
wants.
are you bringing up these guys from NXT? You need to be bringing up these guys. Then they bring them up, and then they bitch about what they do with them when they bring them up. They had them go over on both shows to. I mean, I don't know what their plan was, but the way I see it, okay, sweet. So they just told me that NXT is better than both Raw and
Yeah, they did.
SmackDown, and I've been saying this for fucking as long as takeovers have been a
And
thing.
if they're not going
Hold
to
on,
plug
hold on,
these,
hold on,
hang
hold
on,
on.
let me finish here. If they're not going to plug in these NXT guys to a major fucking storyline and major matches in WrestleMania, then they just completely devalued their
had
main
those-
roster guys on the road to WrestleMania.
They had Aleister Black beat his wife's mister.
Yeah, and Elias, who is over as fuck right now, by the way.
No, he's not anymore. They already
Oh,
killed him.
and that's another thing too.
Stop,
Yeah,
stop, stop,
yeah,
stop,
yeah.
stop,
Don't get me started on
stop,
Elias.
Stop.
Don't get me started on that
Stop,
motherfucker.
Stop. All right, now, you just said you wish that they had titles going to all kinds of different shows to build some sort of, like the territories, right? You just said that earlier, correct, Joe?
Yeah, but I think you're
Okay,
gonna
no,
you're
no.
take me out of context.
Not taking
here.
you out of context at all. So now NXT guys do go to Raw and SmackDown.
Not
right?
defending their titles.
Doesn't matter if they're defending their titles, okay? But they're showing up on Raw and SmackDown to show that NXT is a superior brand. Is not a superior brand, but is a brand just as good enough to beat
But
people on.
why?
Hold on. Now, I'm not saying that
why?
I agree with. Okay, I do. I'm saying I agree with you. As
Is
in there's-
WrestleMania gonna be
There needs to be some sort of payoff down the line. I'm
booked
not
with
gonna argue
NXT
that.
guys now?
Stop.
But this is where that
I will cut your mic because you're not letting other people talk.
this is where this FS1 contract comes into play. Like they're trying to establish NXT as a brand that's not under the main roster, that's on par with the main roster, and so they can get a TV contract for NXT.
Can you get a 2-hour show out of NXT?
Yeah, with it. With,
Absolutely,
for sure.
Dude, you could add
I,
one more match
I wouldn't.
to
I
NXT.
wouldn't do it right away.
At least
though.
a 90-minute show, which would be cool too.
No, keep it in an hour for now.
No.
because we all.
It's impossible.
I think a 90-minute
Right
show would be
now?
fucking. A 90-minute show would be prime.
So
Well, they only have 4.
look
They have
at-
2 to 3
so
matches a
let's,
show.
Let's
Five
let's
people.
talk about the match. Let's talk about NXT, right?
Okay.
So NXT in itself is an hour long on the WWE Network, correct?
Yep.
There are about 4 breaks.
2 to 3 matches a show.
4 breaks for an NXT show.
Yep.
But each of those breaks are one advertisement,
Yep.
one thing on the network.
In a company
So-
sponsored advertisement.
And sometimes
Correct.
it's even like a
So
plug
now
for a
that
superstar.
basically you could put them in an hour and a half show with proper advertisements, because there was the one time that NXT did feature on USA and they got 3/4 of the show done with regular advertisements in an hour. You add one more match, a good a nice promo segment or something like
Yep.
that.
You got
and
yourself a
just
nice
Joe was
90-minute show.
No, you have yourself a 2-hour show.
Either
Because
or, yeah.
already
Oh, you're
right
talking
now-
with commercials and stuff.
I'm
Oh, yeah.
talking about
Okay.
currently right now they have a 90-minute
Yeah.
show with proper advertisements. Put on one more match a
or
week.
2.
No. Wait, what?
Or 2 matches.
Yeah, or I mean, one more. Yeah, it's another
One
match
or 2
promo
more
segment,
matches. I mean,
yeah.
depending on the length of matches, shit
NXT's
like that.
matches tend to run longer than Raw or SmackDown
Right, but-
matches,
and
though.
then
Which
I
is why I like
and I fully
Me too.
agree that you could have a 2-hour show of NXT on Fox. Now, this isn't new about the Fox deal. Fox was not signing up
Last
just
beer,
for
guys.
SmackDown. You already drinking it?
Yep.
Oh, fine, whatever. Dig. Did you get a 9-pack?
Right, what'd you
Got
get?
a 12 pack.
7.5
only
pack?
had
Here's the thing: 90% of the time, like Joe
yeah,
and
3
Smitty
times
drink
4,
beer.
Yeah, 3 times 4. Never mind. I was sitting at. Yeah, okay. My math is stupid.
We do have more. Smitty didn't show up, so there's more booze to go around.
Well, we got Nick on the show now. He likes beer too, so
Nick loves beer.
I'm over here drinking beer.
he's over there drinking beer.
Now let's get back to this conversation about NXT and the NXT stars. So I also agree with you, Joe. There needs to be a payoff for this in the long run, right? However, I'm not mad that they showed up, and I don't think it's scrambling for ratings as much as it's shit. Seth was supposed to be clear this week. Things are falling apart. we need to throw something in for
Things
this.
Why
are
not
falling
bring-
apart. Guys aren't here. That's scrambling.
But here's the thing.
Not scrambling because they're not trying to steal ratings or find anything like that. Now, granted, this was the best ratings they've gotten in all of 2019, right? However, I don't think they said we need these NXT guys to.
Is that a coincidence? Because did they really even advertise the NXT?
Yeah,
guys?
apparently they did.
They did.
I was so busy that fucking day, though.
Me
dude,
too.
So
I was
didn't
like,
see
so I
shit,
didn't-
yeah.
Did they?
ESPN even put out a message that
Before-
was like,
how long
these four
before-
people will be
How long before Raw were
Hours.
they advertising this?
hours.
Yeah,
Just
by
like
midday.
3 o'clock.
Yeah.
3 o'clock at the latest.
All right, I was unplugged that day. Then I'm sorry.
No,
There's
it's
nothing
fine.
to apologize for. I didn't know either. It wasn't until
Yeah, you probably had your notification shut off because the pay per view was there.
it honestly wasn't until Nick said something in our chat that I knew that fucking they were there. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, I was.
So-
yeah,
But okay, I don't think that they're scrambling to fix stuff with NXT guys. I think the NXT guys were scrambled to be brought onto Raw because of storylines that had to change. Because from what I heard, Seth Rollins was supposed to be in all 3 hours of that show, including a wrestling match. But finding out the day before Seth still wasn't cleared, that made them scramble.
so then we got the Brock video package.
Yes, we got the Paul Heyman cutting a promo about a Brock video package, which he was cutting a promo. It was weird. It was really fucking weird. But I agree with you,
And
Joe.
Braun Strowman choked him first.
Yeah, but I agree
Then
with
they
you,
had to
Joe,
take a
that
commercial
I
break
do
after
not.
that.
I would like to see something pay off for this.
For all 4 of them?
Oh fuck yeah! Now
Okay.
I'm not even saying they all need a fucking WrestleMania match. Fuck, dude. You could have someone from the main show say, "Fuck you! I'm gonna beat you on your ground, and I'm gonna come and show up at a takeover." I wouldn't mind to see fucking Almas go back to fucking NXT Takeover in Brooklyn and fight Aleister Black again, or Gargano and Ciampa
Versus Revival.
versus the Revival at a takeover or Mania. Again, they could flip flop, and I have no problem with them building all the brands with this.
Now,
Only problem I have, and I like that, but the only problem I have with that scenario is like, DIY are both singles title holders.
For now,
But what do you do with
yeah,
that?
one of them
It takes-
just dropped.
Yeah, I was gonna say
it's
another
10:30.
hour or
One
so,
just
yeah.
dropped. One of them is no longer a champion in NXT.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
And the other one is
shit.
rumored to drop the belt in Detroit. Yeah.
Really?
that we're going to.
Yeah. I read an article the other day that he's rumored to drop the belt in Detroit at a live show.
Just like he wanted.
Who just dropped tonight?
The North American title holder
Yeah,
is now.
because Dream cashed in his title shot.
Okay.
From the Worlds Collide.
Well, that was a short run.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't know he was coming up.
That's another thing. Are these guys up? Or
That
is-
I don't
Well,
know.
well, that's what I-
And,
that's
and
exactly what
something
I was just gonna
that's
say.
what I
surprised
was
it took
upset
us
about
this long to get to that.
No,
Or
no,
that was-
well, yeah, because we keep going off.
Yeah, because they didn't say like main roster.
Are,
debut.
is
They
this
just
a
said-
one-off? Is this an appearance, or is this a real fucking debut?
They kind of made it feel like they're up.
Not really. I mean, they
Because
had-
the other
they were
NXT
like,
guys,
oh,
they had
really,
weeks
like,
and weeks of vignettes. They didn't do any prep, any
right.
Like
any
Shane was like
any promos, nothing, no hype.
for SmackDown Live. Shane was like, "Oh, they really impressed me on Raw last night, so I'm bringing them to SmackDown Live." Like, and that's the thing where okay, you're two separate brands, but like.
These,
Are they on Raw?
That's
are they
another-
on SmackDown? Or are
Right.
they on NXT?
That's
and
another
if
thing,
they're on
dude.
NXT, can they go between Raw and SmackDown?
all
Like-
these
like,
NXT,
how does that all work?
All these
Yeah.
NXT people are traveling brands. Becky Lynch is traveling brand. Like the brand split is becoming
The women-
less and less of a split as time goes by. It seems like lately.
Yeah, and, yeah. Becky was on Raw, but not SmackDown.
And
it was
Shane,
just her.
so-
Shane
So
is
hold
on
on.
Raw and SmackDown, and
So here's the deal with that. They already announced that the Authority floats in between both. The McMahon family floats in between. They run both Raw
but
and
that's
SmackDown.
yeah.
NXT is a different brand that they're trying to get over higher. So it makes sense that they're bringing them up on Raw and SmackDown because if there's going to be a TV deal, when the TV deal for Fox comes in, there is now an established audience that has seen some of these people that even if they stay, they have their own fucking show come October, right? Becky Lynch won the Women's Royal Rumble. she said she wanted to face Ronda Rousey. She's been on Raw because she's supposed to face Ronda Rousey. Charlotte was then put into that match, so that's why both of them have shown up on Raw. Not another superstar that is SmackDown related or Raw related have flipped to different shows outside of now the Women's Tag Champions.
But then why did Becky show up on Raw but not SmackDown, which is her home show? And also, if Vince suspended her, like, from Raw or whatever, like,
What are you talking about? Becky showed up on SmackDown. Wait, you mean the night after the attack?
yeah.
This week or the week
Okay.
before Elimination
So you
Chamber?
had the attack at the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah. Then she didn't show up on Raw.
She did not show up on it. Okay.
She wasn't on Raw this week. She was on Raw last
Yeah,
week.
I'm thinking of the Elimination Chamber when she had her hair straight and the like.
Yeah, she was on
the
Elimination
safety
Chamber. Yeah.
suit or whatever she was wearing.
Agreed. She wasn't on Raw or SmackDown this week. Becky wasn't.
Okay, but also, putting logic to kayfabe.
Yeah.
Why wasn't she arrested?
Because
She trespassed and assaulted two of my
She
workers.
put her hands behind her back.
then
as
it was
she
announced after Elimination Chamber. They said what we did was just removed her from the building, and if she does it again, she will be arrested.
Okay.
There's your logic to kayfabe.
No,
explanation. No, I agree.
No,
I'm
that's
not-
fine. Because I was like, oh, she's gonna get arrested.
I'm the same
then she's
way.
gonna come back with a Guinness truck, and yeah,
I'd shit my pants if she sprayed Guinness all over her.
I would want to be in that front row.
But I'm not going to argue. She didn't show up on Raw or SmackDown this week. Next week's Ric Flair's 70th birthday.
She'll definitely be there for
Yeah.
that.
That's my thought process.
Hopefully Rick will make it too. But
Dude, could you imagine? Like, we're not trying to call this like I'm not
Ultimate
trying-
Warrior style?
No. Yeah.
Ultimate Warrior.
No, Warrior
like-
Style was the day after. Could you
No,
imagine if for
yeah.
some reason, what would they
Mikey,
do?
shut up.
What would they
Shut
do?
up.
What
Shut
would
up. I know where your
WWE
head's at.
do?
Stop it.
What would WWE do? I'm not even saying it out loud because everyone already has a thought in their
They
head.
would quickly switch his fucking birthday celebration to the morning of Ric Flair. Thrown together real quick. Don't even know what happened. Oh, we just celebrated a murder.
murder suicide, which is what happened in Detroit recently. Did you hear about that mother? She killed her kids and killed herself. Mother of three, fucking west side of Detroit.
No, but I did hear about like a 9-year-old trapped in a fire that didn't make it out.
That's sad. So let's get away from that.
yeah,
Sad.
that's
Yeah,
all, that's
I was
all
gonna say-
wrestling related.
Yeah, god damn.
He's wrestling with his life.
Thought talk about beating my kid was bad.
I can always make it worse, buddy. Don't worry. Make you look
Joe,
like a
you
gem.
said we were dumb. People were dumb for not picking Baron Corbin to win at the Chamber. Why?
Well, as I was saying earlier, I was going to use myself for an example. I'm dumb for not picking Baron Corbin because on my unscheduled appearances, I picked Drew McIntyre, and on that match,
too.
one of the extras was, "Is there going to be interference?" And I picked yes. So why didn't I pick Baron Corbin to win? Because I picked everything that would be involved in Baron Corbin winning, except I didn't pick him to win. I thought Braun Strowman would just be Braun and overcome the odds, and he'd call them fucking nerds and just fucking win anyway.
That's what I thought. I mean, I
Yeah.
had the
So
same.
yeah, basically, I'm a dumbass for not picking Corbin for those very reasons.
Yeah, I had almost the same picks on that one, and I picked it because I thought like.
And as I was filling out the
thought
sheet, I'm like,
Braun was
why am I
gonna-
not picking Corbin
I
right
thought
now?
Braun was going to take out Drew and then win the match, and then that would be the end of that angle. It was still kind of the end of one. Angle,
I guess I didn't.
in the
I didn't
beginning
think
of
about
another,
Lashley showing up too, but I
But
figured
why?
for-
Why would you think that they haven't done that in
I
weeks?
figured for sure Drew
and then they didn't
McIntyre
even
would be there.
play off it on Monday. That was one of the things I agreed with Wrestle Talk on. Like, what the fuck?
So, all of us, I'll give our picks for our predictions. I picked Corbin. Everyone else picked Strowman. All of us picked it by pinfall. Nick picked three finishers. Everyone else picked 2. We all picked the announce table to be destroyed and all picked outside interference. But you're right. Only I picked Corbin.
Yeah, you're the only smart one. I'm like, with all the other extras and unschedules that I picked, like, it would have been logical for me to pick Corbin, but I went against the logic.
I'll be very honest. When I first made these picks, I was sitting at work because it was a dead fucking day. And I picked Corbin by my normal DQ.
I mean, I would have beat your guys' asses even more than I already did.
You got me by 6 points, guy.
If I picked logically.
You got me 6 points because Daniel Bryan didn't submit Kofi Kingston. Otherwise, we would have been tied.
Down with the yes movement.
Yeah, the
Dead.
yes movement's fucking
Dead.
dead.
Fickle.
Team Fickle.
Now, let's talk about Fickle. The
Over the-
smartest fucking thing I've ever heard over the what chant, but smartest ever, is besides, I'm sorry, Alexa Bliss is second smartest, but she goes, oh, you didn't hear me? Let me tell you again. Daniel Bryan saying, you guys are chanting a 16-year-old chant because you're, and then of course the crowd is going to go, what? And he goes, Fickle. And he literally yelled Fickle over every time that they were supposed to yell what. And I want to say that was fucking genius writing, whether Bryan came up with it or someone in the back. You know, props to WWE, Daniel Bryan, whomever.
I think Bryan has
That's
a
Bryan,
lot of creative control here.
He got a
That's
lot of
fine.
shit for like not early on in his career, early on in his WWE run for like not being charismatic, being like, you know.
Right, being more robotic, not having the...
It's not true. Motherfucker can talk, all right? He can work that crowd all he wants to. And he has been able to for as long as I can remember. So, I don't know. That's for me, I think that's all him.
Right. I'm not arguing that at all. I totally believe it. That just sounded like I was coming off being sarcastic, and I wasn't. Now, before we go further into these shows, a wrestler has asked for their release and has posted it on the internet, on Twitter and Instagram and stuff, cutting out all of the rumor, because we all know there's a bunch of rumor and innuendo when everything, you know, Maria and Mike Kanellis, the Usos, the Revival, everyone's like, oh, they keep asking for their release. Well, fucking Ty Dillinger was like, no, I really am asking for my release, and this is what I put out there. So Ty Dillinger put out this. Here it goes. So his tweet, he put out on Twitter and Instagram, and this is what he said as a whole. Before rumors begin to spread, let me set things straight ahead of time. This evening, I requested my release from WWE. In the past 5.5 years with them, I've seen and done some wonderful things that I am very proud of and will never forget. I have met and have worked with unquestionably some of the greatest talent on this earth, and the pleasure has been all mine. I feel at this time, this decision, as extremely difficult as it was, is what is best for myself and WWE. I wish to continue to grow as a performer and offer those paying hard-earned money to watch a show I'm performing on a little more of myself. To the male and female locker room, coaches and producers, to the production ring crew, all the way up to the very top of WWE, and most of all the fans, I wish you all the very best and thank you from the bottom of my heart for everything.
Hold on.
Okay.
I need a timeline here. When did Shawn Michaels retire? How many years ago? 8, 9, 10?
Originally?
No.
Or for good?
Like, he lost The Undertaker goodbye.
Wasn't
I
it
cried that one.
26 or WrestleMania? WrestleMania 25?
How many years ago? Is what
Well,
I'm
I'm trying to think. So
2008.
was it?
It was WrestleMania 26.
It was
'cause
WrestleMania
25
26.
was the
So we're coming
original
up
and
on
26.
We're coming up on 35 right now, so 9 years ago.
So 9 years ago. All right. So Stan got kicked before that. So Ty's been with the company longer than 5.5 years.
Right, I agree. I think the 5.5 years is him on the main roster. Or when was the first time he debuted on the Royal Rumble? 5 years ago, 5.5 years ago.
Okay. Or maybe he's talking about his little NXT run too. But I swear it's
Coming
only
to
5
the beyond on in the developmental.
Yeah, he hasn't
OVW
been
and
on
stuff.
the main roster for 5 years.
So so let's say we'll take away his Florida Championship, FCW and his OVW. Let's just talk NXT. So probably from NXT on to his WWE
Okay.
call up, 5.5 years. Good move for him, Nick.
Yeah, I kind of got the impression that because I saw a tweet from Cody Rhodes right after he tweeted that he gave him a lot of props, and it felt like it was like, oh, thank God, now come on over, come on.
Ty was one of the guys I picked to go to AEW.
Yeah.
Just
So, and he was definitely underutilized. I thought from the, one match that I saw in 5 years of him on live TV, and, I'm lowballing it. He seems like he's got good skills in the ring. He seems like he can take some pretty big bumps. I definitely think they underutilized him. Maybe that's just me as the casual fan, but
Joe, do you feel that it was his chance that got him screwed? And I chance, CHANTS.
I know what you meant.
Yeah,
The
the 10 chance.
why would that screw him?
A lot of referees were having a problem with the fact that they would make any type of count, and all the audience was chanting was 10 instead of 1, 2. They were chanting 10.
But that means he's over. Why would that be a
I
problem?
don't
I'm
think
not
that's a
arguing
problem
that.
at all. That's the same thing as a yes or a what chant to me.
Or the one
the
fall.
fall, yeah.
Or
Which they got rid of.
Two.
They won't
No,
let
they
you listen.
tried to. You've been in the crowd. We still do it.
Yeah,
They
but
just-
we're missing out on whatever.
I don't think that. I just think he got lost in the shuffle.
Do you think that injury was his time bomb? Because his current injury, he was supposed to have some sort of run at the U.S. title with Shinsuke, and then he got injured. And then he was going to come back and was re-injured.
That I'm not aware of. I wasn't aware of any of that. But I mean, before that, he's been buried and lost in the shuffle for so long. Before that, it's hard to cite that one thing or those two things as, that's the why he didn't get his push, because he wasn't getting anything.
No, and that's what I'm saying, like the final nail in the coffin. Like it fucked him.
Maybe it was. I don't know. I didn't even know about that injury until you just said that right now.
I didn't know he was injured either, just because I wasn't used to seeing him
So
on
that's-
TV in general.
That's news to me. I didn't know that. I do know, and I don't know if this. I just stepped out of the room for a second. I do know that, like, one of the first statements Cody made, like after when he first left the WWE, was like, and it was kind of in jest and joking or whatever, but I think he said something along the lines of the fact, like, maybe I'll come back or whatever. Or, maybe when they start pushing Ty Dillinger, he's like, because that guy's really good and they don't do anything with him. But he made some remarks along those lines. So for him to ask for his release, and there's speculations of him going to AEW, I think there's some weight behind that, because I know Cody's a real big fan of his, and they're boys, they're friends. So yeah, I could see Cody probably being in his ear like, dude, just get the fuck out of there. They're not doing nothing with you. We'll fucking use you. Like, because they're friends. And Cody's spoke up on his behalf before, multiple times. So, yeah, I could see that as being a reason why he left. I didn't know about the injury, and I could
Injuries.
I didn't know about the injuries. I didn't know about, but I could see the relationship with Cody as part of the reason why he left, and I could definitely see him going to AEW because of that same relationship.
So you remember when Randy Orton attacked Ty Dillinger on SmackDown, and then all of a sudden Ty was gone?
Yeah.
Okay, so it was a live event right after that. Some injury happened. Well, 3 weeks later, he was supposed to be okay to come back. And then even on Twitter page, it announced that he was going to have a SmackDown, a United States title shot to finally make up for him not getting it a couple weeks ago. And then that day, he went to see the doctors, and the doctors were like, still not good. So it put him out for another month and a half.
I wasn't aware of
cleared,
that.
He's been cleared for a few months now, but the storylines have moved on. In the 2
Creative
months he
didn't
was
have
gone.
nothing
Yeah.
for him.
Literally got lost in the shuffle.
Yeah, and that sucks, because as a fan who was really excited for him to come and have some sort of program,
And I was
and
too.
TV time, he was featured with R-Truth.
Especially with his first. He's had 2 Royal Rumble appearances where they did the 10 gimmick. The second time was, too
Yeah.
much. The first time, that shit was
That,
sweet.
that was great. Yeah.
Dude, and like he was prime for a run right then and there. And it was not capitalized on.
Even like a short one as like a squirmy heel or something.
Dude,
like.
he got a huge pop. The first, he came out in 2 Royal Rumbles in a row at number 10. The first one the crowd was lit up for that, dude.
Yeah, but he was still in NXT at the time too.
Doesn't matter. He got pop.
Yeah, but
it could have been.
Yeah, but that crowd was a carryover crowd from TakeOver, so they all knew who he was to do the tag.
Still, it's a piece of momentum that they could have built on.
I bet you if he would have came out as number 10 this year,
It may
he
not
would've-
have
he
been
would've-
like-
no, he would have got a pop.
If he came out like the next Raw or whatever, the day or two after, maybe it would not have been like that momentous of a pop. But like, it's something you can build on. There's something there. Clearly, there was something there that they didn't capitalize on.
I will say that him being in NXT, he was called up shortly after that one, but it wasn't right away. I think he had another match at TakeOver or whatever the WrestleMania was after that, and then shortly after.
I mean, he's been in this company a long time.
yeah.
They've had plenty of
Shawn Michaels once super kicked him.
Yeah, I
As Zero
remember that.
mentioned it.
No, I've seen that clip. I've
It's
seen
one
it.
of my favorite clips too. What do you mean I'm not controversial? What's your name, kid? Stan. See, I just kicked Stan. Fucking great. Then he goes on to super kick everybody down the hallway.
But they've had plenty of opportunities to use him in a more prominent role, and they haven't. So I'm not just going to blame his misuse on these most recent 1 or 2 injuries that he's had.
Yeah, it's kind of fucked up that he never held any title in NXT. Not even like
it's not like the
random
guy-
tag title or anything like that, because he was over.
And I really don't understand it. He's got decent size. He's not like small.
He's got the look. He's got charisma.
He's tall.
like-
He's in shape. He can talk. He can work. Like, what's the fucking deal? I just don't get it. Why not use this guy?
I really think that I don't know what the first one was. I honestly feel the 2 injuries was a huge nail in his coffin.
Like I just said, they've already been not using him properly for years
I'm
before
not
that.
arguing. I'm not saying they haven't. I'm saying that they were probably trying to do something finally with him, and then he got injured.
So basically, it's almost too little, too late, and then he got an injury, and that was it.
I don't want to say too little, too late, because there's many a guys that have something happen later to dude.
If Finn came back from that shoulder injury and got injured again, who's to say where his career would be right now?
If John Cena got injured after Stephanie McMahon went out on a limb for him when he was about to get fired before the whole rapper gimmick, and he went and got injured, Cena would never have been what he became in WWE. No. It's very possible Cena. You can argue all you want. Triple H and Vince McMahon both said they were ready to get rid of him, and Stephanie was the one that said, no, let's try this, and then that blew up, and then so on and so forth. But if he would have gotten an injury right there that put him out for a couple months...
The standing and the level that Cena was in with the company right before he did that rap thing with Stephanie on the bus that made Stephanie go to back for him, Cena's standing within the company at that point was higher than Ty Dillinger's ever was.
No, I disagree with that.
He had already had a feud with Eddie Guerrero by then on TV, like a major feud, and he already did the Kurt Angle slap thing.
Cena, they were ready to fire him, dude.
That doesn't matter. He'd already done more in the company than Ty Dillinger ever has. That's what I'm saying.
But what I'm saying is he was ready to
But
get
what did
fired.
John Cena ever do in NXT?
He got his ass whipped by the Nexus.
They were ready to fire him. If after Stephanie went to bat for him, he got
How
out.
does that relate to this, though?
I'm saying the injury. Who's to say that Ty Dillinger, if he didn't get that injury right now, would not be on a run with the U.S. title or something higher than anybody else?
Well,
Better than Shinsuke, better than
my
Rusev.
aunt
better
had a
than,
dick, she'd be my uncle. I mean,
But that's what I'm getting at. What I'm getting at is it's not too little too late because anything can happen in wrestling.
okay.
Anything. So
I still don't know where you're going with this. All I'm saying is, yeah, it may have been the straw that broke the camel's back, but they've misused or not used this guy for fucking years before this.
And all Cena had was a ruthless
Ty
aggression
Dillinger
promo
is
and a
Zack Ryder, just not as popular, I guess, or not as much pull in the company.
Yeah, because Zack Ryder's got so much fucking pull.
He's still here.
He's on
and
Raw
he's
every
got-
week.
I was gonna say he is. I mean, it sucks that he's a jobber, but he's still on TV.
Zack Ryder had one Raw match in 2018.
Yeah, well, 2019's looking up.
Agreed.
He's been on two.
twice.
Double
He's
or
doubled
nothing.
it. Oh.
Losing with Mr. 260 some odd losses in a row.
But
guy.
that's a good storyline, though. Like, they can run with that and actually be
if they
on
do it
TV.
right.
Well, not the Hulu version, but, live TV.
Sorry, Kurt Hawkins. You don't make it to Hulu.
How cool would it be?
Was he really not? That match. Was
Well,
on
if you're
Hulu?
going to cut something from Hulu, what are you cutting?
I wouldn't cut Kurt Hawkins.
Well, they are.
I wouldn't either, but I don't control Hulu.
Did you watch the Hulu version?
No, I watched it. Well, I watched it on Hulu live, but yeah, I watched it live. So
Right.
they didn't-
I wonder then. I wonder if he was cut from Hulu.
I mean, I can go home and tell you. Probably. I'd put money on it.
What?
Fickle.
I was about to say, did my headphones just cut out or
Right,
something?
yeah, I thought my headphones got out.
Is there a technical malfunction going on
You
here?
can't hear me.
I was like, what was that? Last thing to talk about before we go. Being the Elite came out this week.
Hold on.
didn't see it.
AEW needs to sign Damian Sandow and Ty Dillinger so they can be intellectually perfect.
Intellectually a perfect 10. I posted on our Twitter, I was like, I really hope he gets to be able to go with that perfect 10 gimmick. Name gone, but I could totally see him.
No, he's going to be Ty Dillinger.
Oh, no.
How funny would it be, though?
That wouldn't even make me remember.
What if he just went as Stan?
I'm the guy Shawn Michaels kicked.
Sammy,
and then
anyway,
the,
back-
and then the
moving
Young
on,
Bucks
moving
just
on.
go around super kicking him. It would be great.
Sammy and Tando.
Moving on. New Being the Elite came out this week, and there was a segment where Kenny Omega was in the back, and he hadn't signed his contract yet. And he was asking, he was like, well, what's next? And all it was the Bucks and Cody going, well, yeah, we have this thing on May 25th, and then a fucking video play for Double or Nothing. He goes, okay, but what's after that? And they go, after what? The May 25th thing? And then video again. And then he was like, yeah, I want to know what's going on after that. And then Cody was like, yeah, well, we have the May 25th thing, and boom, it play. And fucking Kenny Omega goes, until I see a card, I'm full match card. AEW is nothing but a t-shirt company. And I cried laughing because fucking Elite ripped all of the internet trolls that are saying that AEW is nothing but a t-shirt company because they don't have a card.
It's one of my favorite memes.
I don't think it's because they also don't have a announced TV deal
To
yet.
be fair, they make hats too.
Yeah, I think you can get like an Adam Page belt buckle. You know,
You like my belt buckle?
so they're
He
like
doesn't have the body to do
they're
that,
a
by the way.
t-shirt, hat, and belt buckle company.
They're a clothing company.
There you go. They're a
Cover all bases.
They are a merch company.
So Kenny was like, I'm not signing now. And they were like, what? So he walked away and they was like, I'm just kidding. They're like, so you're going to sign? He goes, yeah, of course I'm signing. And blah, blah, blah. Played out. So yes, I laughed my ass off at that. But another match has been announced. The Over the Budget Battle Royal was announced for them.
Another one.
Yep, Sonny Kiss, Kip Sabian, Brandon Cutler are three of the people that are
And
been
Ty
announced for this.
Dillinger.
You never know. Very possible.
Yeah, but he asked for his release, so that's. Gonna
Can
be
we
at
see
least
this one
90
this
days.
time? Because I still haven't seen the first one because it was on IGN or WGN. Whatever.
I think that's been posted on the internet now for
Well,
a while.
Yeah, but I gotta go search for it. It's not on. It's not on New
All
Japan.
you gotta do is type in Double or Nothing. All in over the top, over the budget battle royal.
It's not on Honor Club. It's not on New Japan.
On YouTube by now.
Well,
That's what I said. It's on YouTube.
now it's too little, too late. Now,
See-
now it's old hat.
Z's leaving, and we're about to close out the show.
He's not leaving.
I'm saying he walked out of the room.
He's just going to pee.
Well, he's not going to be able to say goodbye to the people who are here for him on one of his birthday weeks. And for you, Joe, how was your birthday?
It was still there when I showed up.
40.
What?
40.
Not 30.
Damn, you calling his ass out. You're giving him his shoot age.
30.
39.
Nuka what?
Knuckleless.
Perfect. That was perfect.
10.
Yes, he's 10. You're the perfect 10 times 3.
4.
Shut up.
I'm still cutting him slack.
K-fave, man.
And you are,
K-fucking-fave.
the dude is 5'9", too.
And a half.
What?
Me?
I mean, that's where you went. Because we were saying we were about to close out the show and you just disappeared. So we had to go.
That's
on
what I
some
said, though. I was like,
random
he's not leaving. He's just taking a pee.
Well, at least say bye.
conversation. We were almost going to end the show, but you left. Yeah, that's it, man. That's it for us this week. She didn't win.
It's all that talk. It's all that talk about pussy before the show.
She didn't win.
Weed.
Sure,
But he
she,
thought pussy was gonna be here, and he didn't show up. See, this is his life.
sure, she beat Asuka. Who cares? No one cares.
My eye.
Who beat Asuka?
Mandy Rose.
Exactly.
Sonya Deville's blonde bombshell that she wishes she could have.
Yeah, they've fucked up that Asuka character a whole bunch.
Yeah, we were talking about that.
Yeah, but she made Becky tap.
Yeah,
and finally showed back up on fucking SmackDown.
right. She was like a missing person after that until
Does that title
Tuesday.
not look huge on her?
Everything looks huge on her. That's why I want to date her.
No one's ready for it.
She's got really small hands. Do you know what that means? Nick knows what that means.
I do.
Ladies and gentlemen, big announcement before we go off of the air. We will be doing a WrestleMania event
Hey.
in the Metro Detroit area. If you're with us for our last WrestleMania main event that we had going on, we will be having it in the exact same place, the downtown Detroit Buffalo Wild Wings.
So that's not even Metro. That's actual like
downtown
Detroit.
Detroit.
Downtown Detroit.
Detroit basketball is played a little bit away from
Fuck basketball.
there. You hate all
Detroit
sports.
wrestling.
I can't wait for NXT now, even more so.
Less than 2 weeks.
Yes, sir. So yes, Buffalo Wild Wings. They're going to be they're going to be purchasing the pay-per-view. It's not going to be streamed. So we are probably going to stream the pre-show, the couple hours pre-show. Although, if they show it on USA again, don't have to stream it. You know what I'm saying? We'll be fucking putting that on the USA Network. Obviously, with every WrestleMania, we have giveaways. We have all kinds of fun stuff. A lot of things going on for this one. So the Detroit Buffalo Wild Wings. 1218 Randolph Avenue, Detroit, Michigan, 48226. It is a Sunday because it's WrestleMania. So while there is parking in the area that have parking lots, all of the meter spots on the streets of Detroit are free. You don't have to pay for parking. And like you should, like the Downtown Royal Oak one.
For free.
Yeah, for free. So zero cost to you. Come down, enjoy watching it with us. Obviously, the Knockouts and 3 Counts podcast are going to be a part of it again, and we're going to have just a whole bunch of fun. We'll get the event up on our Facebook. We'll send out all of the invites, so on and so forth. We want to thank you guys so much for listening. If you're listening live, make sure you subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Overcast, wherever you hear your wonderful podcast. If you are listening on the podcast, you can listen live. You can watch live on Twitter and Periscope. Every week, Wednesday, 9:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, follow us on all of our social media at BDRcast, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all of that good shit. We are your ring crew.
Nick.
Smitzy.
Strapless champ, whole fucking Joe.
And me, the guy that puts the strap on him, the almighty one, Mikey himself. We are out.
All those